was also a founding member of the Martin District Women's Aid, and in that role she worked closely with some of the most vulnerable in our communities. She's also a member of the SSP, she's been a candidate I think a number of times in the past, and she says she would be happy to be known as a local activist and a real woman. So tonight she's here representing Western Berkshire Women for Independence. Louise.
Thanks very much for coming out tonight. It's such a beautiful sunny night and football's on and things like that. As Dale was saying, I'm a founding member of Faslane Peace Camp and Martin Women's Aid, and I'm a proud member of the Scottish Socialist Party, and I'm also a very proud member of Women for Independence. But tonight I'm here specifically as a Dale wanting to speak to other people for the Dale. I'd like to welcome our fellow panellists to the Dale, and I know you've been spending an awful lot of time up around the country speaking at loads of different meetings, and you're going to be thinking, oh, this is Thursday, it must be the Dale. So I would just like to tell you a wee bit about where we are. We've got a very proud history here. We've been distilling whisky, we made cameras at Polaroid, we made lenses for glasses at Wiseman's, we pioneered the ATMs at Burroughs, we made clocks at West Clocks, and we're world famous for the beautiful dyes and patterns that we made at the Turkey Egg Works, where over 50% of the workers were women. As part of India's bid to free itself from British imperialism, Gandhi called on people not to get the white cotton dyed and just to wear their cotton as white. Now that meant we would be sending their cotton over here to be dyed, and our council weren't very happy about that, so we get minutes at the Martin District Council that talks about that wee upstart Gandhi. However, tonight, during this World Cup month, I can't let visitors come here without mentioning that just up the road from here in the Renton, we were the first World Cup holders in 1888. So just so that people know that that's where they are. We're in the Dale and we've got a very proud history. And that's a very important history about the Dale. When there was work, we worked, and when there was work, the work that we did it extremely well. However, the decisions that have been taken with Thatcher and Major and Brown and Blair and currently Cameron have mean that now when we're looking for work, it's often low-paid work, it's often part-time work, and it's very often zero-hour contracts work. Yet, every 6 weeks, passing through our area is a nuclear convoy, and it comes from Burfield, and it's going to Coolport, and it drives over our roads with our potholes. I get emotional when I speak with this, so excuse me. It drives over our potholed roads, a part-time fire station, a shut-down police station, a Bellevue hospital that is dying a death by 1,000 cuts. It passes the food banks and our second-hand clothes shops. It passes our empty industrial estates, our shopping centres with kid-on lines on shut-down shops, kidding on their delicatessens and butchers in Dumbarton. It passes all our carers rushing about, looking after our vulnerable people during our 20-minute visits. So that they billions of pounds to spend on nuclear weapons and warmongering, and they did nothing for creating a society where everyone has the right to a home, a job, a living wage, and the right to live without fear in a nuclear-free country. Now, a couple of years ago, I went for a walk in the Camino in Santiago, and I met some wonderful people there, and I had lots of good discussions with them. Now, anybody that knows me would know that during the discussions I was talking about driving. So I was asking people from all over the world, how do you manage to sleep at night when you know that nuclear weapons to protect you? And surprisingly enough, they all said it wasn't a problem. They didn't need nuclear weapons to protect them. But one man from Brazil that I spoke to said something which has made me envious ever since. He said, we don't need nuclear weapons. We have no enemies. I want to see that. I believe that we could see that. I believe that becoming an independent nuclear-free Scotland all over the world in these terribly troubled times. And that is why I am really pleased that tonight the guest campaign can bring together a founder member of Alexandria Peace Camp with a retired lieutenant commander of the Sunday at the basic hospital. I would like to present you with a wee cake. That is in memory of the Kipling Five, who were 5 people at the Peace Camp who, when one of your predecessors came to the camp, we thought it would be a nice idea to go and welcome them. So, well, we went into the base to welcome them, and they were only very happy about it. So we kind of get kept over in the base for quite a while. We did a demonstration outside saying, "Free the Kipling Five." So that's a wee cake in memory of that, and just to say what a long way we've come to be sitting here together, campaigning together for a yes vote. Right, the peace campers were never opposed to the workers at the base. We were opposed to the political system that had created the situation where they were amongst the best paid and financially secure jobs in the area at that time. Alexandria Peace Camp celebrated its 32nd birthday last week, and I would just like to take a wee moment to recall that day all these years ago when we set out to set up a peace camp. It is worth noting that this was very much a local initiative, with my mum and dad, Mary and George Markwick, Pat and Joe Plunkin, their 3 children, Catherine and Neil and her family, wee Bobby and Margaret Harrison, Grant Thompson, Harry and Eileen Bickerstaff, Alec Cunningham, Gregor Gordon, Myra and Ian Darkshore, Jane McLaren, and many more people whose names my memory can't recall at this particular moment. The camp was set up at a time of mutually assured destruction. And the government film Protect and Survive, which advised us to buy in some more tins, put tape round the windows and sit under the table and hope for the best. Now, if that was in the politics of fear, I don't know what was. But the peace camp was a beacon of light and a beacon of hope for people, and we were visited from people all over the world. In the first few months when we were there, we had long conversations into the night about what we should do and how we should do it. Because what we realised in the Sunday morning after we set up the peace camp was that nobody really knew we did at a peace camp. We just set it up and thought, right, that's it. So then we had to work out, right, what do we do? So what we did was set about making it clear to the workers that this was not a protest about them personally running the base. And we also decided on a strategy of non-violent direct action against nuclear weapons of mass destruction. So there were sit-ins, vigils, demonstrations, following the convoy, climbing the fence, and occupying military establishments and other symbols of state authority. The peace movement at that time was active all over the country, at Graham Common, Upper Hayford and Lakenheath, and we were making headline news on a regular basis. The Labour Party at that time had a policy of nuclear disarmament, and I think we in the peace movement made a great big mistake by putting the trust in the Labour Party, because it soon became clear that they wanted power at all costs, and they dumped their commitment to disarmament along with a lot of their other founding principles. At this point, Liz and I and thousands of others left the Labour Party. However, even after being let down so badly by politicians, I can still hear Nicola Sturgeon say on that so-called debate with Joanne Lamont, I joined the CND first before I joined the SNP, and I totally believe that when we are an independent country, Trident will not be on the negotiating table. We stayed in camp for 2 years, and it was the best education that I have ever had about how power and control works. But new people were coming to the camp with great new ideas and new energies, so we decided to move back home again. And living back in Harden, I still campaigned for peace in the world, but as chair of the Harden Women's Group, it became increasingly obvious that there was a lot of work to be done just for women to have peace in their houses. Women were talking about the experiences of domestic abuse, the violence, the threats, the loss of their self-esteem. They're trying to protect what kind of they're doing now when they come in, and they're living in fear and trying to cover it up. Women's Aid recognised that domestic abuse happened to women of all ages and classes, and here in Dunbarton we were very fortunate in working with a group of good women and men who helped us secure funding for our refuge locally. I worked there for 25 years, and the women who used our refuge were a constant source of inspiration to me, and they helped me to get through some very difficult situations at the refuge. During my years working there, we had to address the issue of why so many were living in such fear that they were prepared to walk away from their homes and their belongings, and often also their family and friends. And the reason for their abuse, we believe, is because of men's abuse of their power and control over women. Now I know that that's a difficult thing to hear, but in my independent Scotland, I want us to strive for true equality between men and women. It's no coincidence that the countries that I would like us to emulate have the best records for equality between the sexes. Iceland, Finland, Norway and Sweden are the top 4 most equal countries in Europe. This has made it possible for men and women to have a much better work-life balance and to have a much more equal relationship. Surely, in an independent Scotland, we can finally have equal pay for men and women. And Britain has been on the statute since 1970, and we still don't have it. Recently, a UN report stated that Britain's sexist attitudes are more pervasive than any other country. Our beloved Sunday Herald that came out pro-independence, their editorial 2 weeks ago said that misogyny is an issue for us all. It is not an issue that policing alone can solve. The responsibility lies with everyone, from government ministers to parents, to the men who say and do nothing when they hear an enabling sexist joke. This is a time when Scotland is looking to the future and focusing on ways to create a more equitable society. We can't do that, says the Sunday Herald, while half the population is at risk of mistreatment simply as a consequence of having 2 X chromosomes. So, in our independent Scotland, I want each and every one of us to reclaim the power that has been denied us for so long. I want an independent Scotland to be a land where my granddaughter will not be feared to walk home at night. I want an independent Scotland to be a place where my granddaughter will not be sitting in a train and somebody's reading The Sun with a page 3 naked woman on it, while at the same time, right next to it, there is another hellish story of another woman being raped or another woman's body found somewhere in a wood or a roadside. A couple of years ago, I went into Asda and I saw a t-shirt for sale that had a woman posed provocatively in the front, and underneath were the words, "If at first you don't succeed, try again." No, sorry, that's not it. See, if at first you don't succeed, buy another drink. Now, what kind of stereotype is that meeting about gender in this country just now? I want my grandsons and your grandsons to grow up without that natural sexist burden being put on them. So we've all got our different dreams about an independent Scotland. I can barely sleep some nights. I get so excited about being part of the generation who has this opportunity to create a country that we can be proud of. I've never voted SNP in my life, but I'll tell you this. I will be eternally grateful for the opportunity to have this debate and to see our country waking up. Over the years, many of us here, and many sadly no longer with us, have marched to ban the bomb. We've sung "Free Nelson Mandela." We reclaimed the night, we fought to save the veil. We wanted victory for the Niners. We have fought the poll tax and for a women's right to choose. We have shouted Maggie, 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 out more times than I would care to remember. We've worked locally to save our schools and our libraries, and we said that the war in Iraq was not in our name. Some of these campaigns were more successful than others, but we must use every single lesson that we have learned from them and put them to use now. Because this campaign is the real McCoy. The next 13 weeks will define the rest of our lives. A wonderful woman of words, Arundhati Roy, says, another world is possible. She is on her way. On a quiet day, I can hear her breathing. So can I. Thank you very much.